You can't change this kind of person, and it's just going to be hard for you to see them stuck in this place. Don't give anyone else your dreams. They are too big for anyone else to carry. These people are afraid of taking action and they don't believe in themselves. And if you spend time with them, you might start to believe that about yourself as well. Hello, welcome. In this video, we're talking about 7 kinds of people that you need to stop giving your energy to. I want to say I am still learning. Sometimes I am all of the people that we're going to talk about. The thing to remember with this is if someone is repeatedly a certain way, and if you leave your interactions with them feeling drained, the people you choose to spend time with should make you feel uplifted. The first thing that you should be wary of is people whose actions and words don't align. These people are dangerous because they only care about how they're perceived. They will not hesitate to do the wrong thing if they think they can get away with it and not look bad. They don't have any kind of principles underpinning the way that they act. They only say things that they think that they should be doing or they think are acceptable. These people also have no self-awareness, which we will talk about later. This kind of person may think that they are a good person just because they say that they are, without actually looking at their actions and how these reflect on them. The problem is that the majority of people, they think they are a good person, but I am not interested in what people say. If they say that they're kind, if they say that they care, if they say that they understand, I am more interested in the way that people act. No one wants to think that they are a thoughtless person or a mean person or a careless person, but if their actions don't line up with that characterization, just because they say that they're thoughtful, that doesn't mean that they are. And so I think it can be dangerous when people think that words are enough and that they can just announce that they are something and then they are that thing, because that's not how it works. You have to show up consistently. No one wants to think they're a bad person. Yet horrible things happen all the time and people are mean or thoughtless, careless, insensitive all the time. Who are these people? They're good people who think that because they think they're a good person, it doesn't really matter what they do. Doing the right thing is hard. Going against the crowd is hard. Doing what you feel is right, even when everyone else is doing the opposite, is hard. People whose actions don't align with their words cannot do the right thing in a difficult situation. They cannot make the right choice because they are more concerned with what people think of them than actually doing the right thing and being a good person in that difficult situation. They will just say that they did the right thing or that they are doing the right thing, but not actually put any action behind it. Don't want to get political on my channel, but these people revise history. It's not hard to find examples over the past 20 years where people will say retroactively, oh yeah, that was so terrible, I was so against it. But if you went back in time to the way that they were acting, they wouldn't be against it at all. They were just doing whatever was popular. These people will drain your energy if you keep investing in what they say. So do yourself a favour and take a step back and only look at what people do. Their actions will show who they really are. I'm thinking of one example as I was putting on my jewellery to film this video. I think jewellery is such a lovely gift. This ring was given to me by my great auntie who passed away last year, and whenever I wear it, I think of her. And so there was this one person who was like, oh, I know how much jewellery means to you. I would love to buy you a nice necklace with an inscription on it. And I was like, oh, that's so thoughtful. This person never bought me this necklace that they talked about so much. People like to say things. You don't need to invest in what they say. Instead, look at what they do. The next kind of person I think you need to stop giving your energy to is people who have no self-awareness. In his special Inside, Bo Burnham talks a little bit about this. He talks about how being self-aware and being aware that you have made a mistake or that you have some problematic behaviour. The self-awareness itself doesn't excuse the problem. Oh, I'm sorry that I forgot to call, or oh, I'm sorry that I said this and it was really mean and hurtful, but you know, I have a tendency to do this because whatever. Like, just because you're aware of the way that you're acting, that doesn't excuse you from trying to address whatever it is that is making you say these things impulsively. And while that is true, self-awareness isn't enough. You do need to be careful of people who are not self-aware at all. You need some self-awareness. As with all of these, I'm still learning this. We all have our blind spots. I'm thinking particularly of people who will share their dreams or their hopes with you. They have big ideas about what they want to do, but then they will take no action, no steps at all in order to reach that thing. And they will see no disconnect between this very strong dream that they have and the lack of action. They have no self-awareness as to the fact that they actually need to take some steps in order to get to their end goal. And yet they expect results, or they constantly express the fact that they feel dissatisfied with their life. It's hard to see people repeat this pattern, but it's also very draining. You need to be aware of, is this just a particular situation, a particular thing where someone is battling something? I'm in recovery from addiction. I didn't have a lot of self-awareness about the way I was behaving just because I was in such deep denial about it. If it's about everything and this person seems to have an idea of themselves that just doesn't match with their lived reality, it's just going to be hard for you to see them stuck in this place with no self-awareness, and you can't bring that to them. They're going to have to come to that realization on their own. The next kind of people to be wary of are people who want to protect you but don't let you dream. So people with good intentions but who will hold you back. Similar to complainers, which we're going to talk about, but these are kind of more insidious because, as I said, they are well intentioned, so they think they are helping you. Casey Neistat has done a video called Do What You Can't, which I will link. It's only 3 minutes long and I rewatch it every so often just because it is very inspiring. People who want the best for you, they want you to make the right decisions. They are actually giving you terrible advice if you want to dream big and do something more. You need to be able to dream big. You need to act before you're ready, even if you don't know where you're going. You need to do what you can't. Don't let other people's fears hold you back, because that's basically what's happening when you're sharing something and other people are expressing either concern or doubt because they don't think that you'll be able to do it, but that's also coming from a place of insecurity in them. Be careful what you share with who, because there will be some people who, however well-meaning, will hold you back or will make you feel small. I have big dreams and I know that a lot of them may not happen, but I also know that I am coming up to 500 days sober. And if you'd told me 503 days ago that I would have been able to do that, I would not have believed you at all, because it felt impossible to even go 1 day sober or even like a few hours sober. And to have all of those days behind me, it feels like a miracle. And it is a miracle because I couldn't do that before. I know I can reach my dreams if I'm consistent. The only way I've been able to get this far is 1 day at a time. So anyone who won't let me dream, or who has questions, or is like, how are you gonna do that? Or who wants to keep me small, I have to limit my time with them. They don't know what I'm capable of. You don't know what you're capable of. If you really show up every day and just are like, I am doing this, you will be able to achieve things that you can't even imagine. I couldn't imagine I would have got this far. Even if someone's intentions are good and they love you, they might hurt you unintentionally. And absolutely there are times where you need to be like, wait, hang on, am I being ridiculous here? But I also think if you want to achieve big things, you have to have some level of delusion. And so you need to keep that to yourself and not spend time with these people who aren't going to believe in you, because they are going to try and drag you into their version of reality where things are very small. Don't give anyone else your dreams. They are too big for anyone else to carry. The next people to be aware of are people who are constantly complaining. I think it's normal to complain if something is going wrong, if you're frustrated. I had problems like printing stuff out this morning and it's just very irritating. But I'm talking about people who are consistently seeing the negative side. Anytime you say something, they have to see it in a bad light. And I used to be one of these people, I think. If you can recognize that you are one of these people and you have some self-awareness there, you can change. I found doing a daily gratitude list has helped shift my perspective so that whatever the situation, I'm able to find something there that I'm grateful for. I think you have to be wary of people who complain when they have more than you, because again, this comes down to a lack of gratitude on their part. I cannot stand it when someone who is in a better position than me can't see all of the things they've been blessed with. I have so much to be grateful for. I'm not dismissing anyone's circumstances, because I know just because you have certain things, whether material or you have like lots of support from your family, whatever, that other people may not have, just because you have those things doesn't mean that you're going to be happy. It's all happening like in here or in here. It's more of an attitude thing. I can be grateful even if I'm having a rubbish day and feeling bad, whereas it feels like people who are constantly complaining, they may have a horrible circumstance but they have no gratitude. The saying is misery loves company. They will try to drag you down. The next thing is people who are stuck in their negative story. So kind of anyone who has a victim mentality, anything that goes wrong, because things are going to go wrong, anything that goes wrong, they're having a bad day, it's all this woe is me, everything's horrible. Don't get me wrong, I have these days, I have these afternoons, these mornings, but because I have worked on myself and I have some self-awareness, I have this gratitude running as like a thread throughout my life over the past year or since I got sober. I can have the worst day in the world, but if it was a sober day, it's still a good day and I have something to be grateful for there. Anyone who is just stuck in their negative story, they are choosing to be powerless and choosing to not act, because even on a rubbish day, you can still do something. I have these days where I'm like, everything is awful. Had one quite recently. They don't last very long. Important to feel your feelings, but I mean people who are consistently like this. I have been trying to adopt the mantra, find a way, not an excuse. Just because there are so many things that I need to do and I can be like, oh, well, I'll do that tomorrow, or oh, I'm too tired, or oh, I have to do this instead, why don't I do this? There will always be a reason why these people can't do something. There will always be a reason why their circumstances are so terrible and they can't do anything about it. They are stuck in this victim mentality and in this negative story, and so they don't feel like they have any agency or any ability to change. That's sad. These people are afraid of taking action and they don't believe in themselves. And if you spend time with them, you might start to believe that about yourself as well. We have all been these people. I will be this person again. But if you can at least recognize this impulse in yourself, it means that it's not going to run your life or become like the dominant story that you're telling yourself. It might just be your story for an afternoon or a day or a few days, and then you can come out of it. Another person to be wary of are fair weather friends. I very much have the view that, like, if you really cared, if you really wanted to know how I was, you would call. If the only time I have a conversation with someone is when they're texting me trying to arrange like a phone call to catch up, guess what? We're not friends anymore. I don't know if that's a bit harsh, but it's just because in my recovery, I've got so used to calling people and picking up the phone if someone's randomly calling. Like, I'm definitely not the kind of person who likes talking on the phone or who liked talking on the phone. I have kind of got used to just calling people all the time, and I don't take it personally if I call someone and they don't pick up. Like, I'm like, oh, they're busy, they'll call back if they want, and if not, it doesn't matter. But when people are texting being like, oh, shall we arrange a time to call, or like, when are you free? I'm like, call me whenever. If I pick up, great. If not, call again. Like, I don't understand it, but I guess if you're busy, maybe it helps to schedule in. But to me, it just feels more like they're being a fair weather friend in terms of their actions and their words don't line up. They're saying, oh, wouldn't it be great to catch up? They're saying these things, but then they're not backing it up with action. They're not calling, they're not suggesting a time directly, like, let's do 6 o'clock tomorrow. If someone is like this, I do not invest a lot of energy into that interaction because it's not real. It's almost like they're trying to check in and be like, we're still friends, right? I'm like, yeah, but can we talk? I will say, obviously, this depends on your friends. I have one friend who, like, I will not be in contact with for like a month, but I know we're still friends. I guess maybe the difference is that we have like a proven friendship in terms of we met in school, we live in different countries, we have no mutual friends, we had different groups of friends at school, but somehow we ended up becoming good friends. So there's nothing holding us together except us. For me, I don't want to second guess if anyone cares, if anyone is thinking about me. I don't want to be playing games about someone being annoyed about something I said or something they said. I want to be very direct and sort things out. Obviously, I was not like this because I was a horrible friend when I was drinking, because you can't really be there for people. You can never be present if you're using something that makes you not you. I don't want it to sound hypocritical, but I'm talking about in my sobriety, this is the way that I want to be. I want to be direct. I want to be open. I want to talk to people, and so I don't have time for fair weather friends, and I don't give those friendships my energy. Another group of people to be wary of are gossips, people who talk a lot about other people. These people talk about other people because they have nothing else interesting going on in their own lives, or they are dissatisfied with their own lives. How do I know this? Because this used to be me. I used to be unhappy, and so I would used to pick apart what other people were doing or judge what other people were doing because I was externalizing my own feelings of inadequacy and feeling like, oh, I'm not good enough, my life is so rubbish, projecting that onto them and being like, oh, what a silly decision they've made, or why do they think they can do that? I talk about being this kind of toxic friend in my video about jealousy, so I'll link that up there if you want to check that out. This isn't something necessarily that you can cut out completely in terms of, depending on the situation, like there are different dynamics and some people might bring something up and then you're engaged in it. If that's happening and people are gossiping, just notice how you feel in that situation, bring some self-awareness into it. You get drawn into it, and it's kind of like eating chocolate or eating like a whole tub of ice cream. You're like, oh, this is nice. But then afterwards you might feel a bit sick, or it doesn't feel right. There's something discordant about it. Limit your time with people who are like this because it will drag you down, and it is disrespectful. If there's ever someone who is constantly gossiping, if they're gossiping with me, I know that they're then going to be talking about me with other people. Obviously, I think we will all act in the ways that we've discussed in this video, but if there is someone in your life who is constantly acting like this, you don't have to spend so much time with them if you can. I know it depends on the relationship, like if they're a family member or whatever, it's hard to then be like, no, I don't want to see you. But as much as possible, try to limit your time with this person, or at least don't get so invested in that relationship. I will leave my video about how I used to be that toxic jealous girl on the screen, because I did mention that when we were talking about gossiping, and I think that relates to some of the themes that we've talked about in this video. I'm doing a daily video challenge on my channel, so I am posting a new video every single day. If you would like to follow along, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. God bless, and I will see you in the next one.